Cooking and baking has always been something I've been doing lah. So I've always wanted my own space to do food lah. So I guess that's how I started.
Yeah, and then I thought that this was a very good potential to start a social enterprise to provide employment, awareness for the deaf community, and accessibility for them. But we also had a unique way of ordering the food. Yeah, so the unique way is actually if the customers decided to sign their order, so sign language, they get a discount from any of the main dishes. So that's why we opened this and just continue to prepare and expand it. We tried to make it engaging for youth to actually participate in activities in order for them to understand more about the deaf culture. And we also do workshops for secondary schools and organizations. It's called the Inclusive Workshop. Yeah, it's a deaf simulation. The main activity is deaf simulation, and we also do other things for secondary schools. Thank you, Ian, for making that beautiful video. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so actually, most of the times, most of my peers and the customers actually ask me, what is the meaning behind puzzles? So today I'm going to share with all of you a peek on how this name came about. Hi, I'm Susanna, founder of Puzzles SG, and we are a cafe located at Ngee Polytechnic. My partner over there is Shazlina, and we've been running this since April 2017. Yeah, so Puzzles SG is a social enterprise that focuses on spreading deaf awareness to the hearing world. And who are the hearing world? Us. People who can hear fully as compared to what they can. So before we actually started this, I have always been bumping into many deaf strangers. So after O-levels, I actually went to work retail before I went into Ngee Polytechnic, and I bumped into a deaf customer, and I tried to talk to him and ask him how can I help him. So he was unresponsive. He didn't turn behind. So I spoke in another language. I tried to ask in basic Chinese. 你会帮你吗? I asked him, boleh tolong ke tak? Yeah, so he was still unresponsive. So for some strange reason, me and my friend used to learn the alphabet in sign language. But at that moment, this knowledge just resurfaced, and I started to use the sign language. So I went up to him, looked at him face to face, and he said, "Welcome to Uniqlo." Yeah, so I worked at Uniqlo. And he was so excited that he started talking to me in sign language, and bear in mind, I only know A to Z. So I was like, what? So he dragged me around everywhere, signed shoe, sock, shirt. And that's when I realized that I wasn't speaking a language that he knew, I spoke his language. And that got him really excited that someone who is not in his community knew his language. So this incident made me ponder about the deaf community and how they navigate through life and how do they just interact with people. So I realized that their disability is not that they have a lack of hearing. Their disability is this word: accessibility. Accessibility to communication, accessibility to information, accessibility to education. Simple things that we might have taken granted. So maybe it was the law of attraction that introduced me to my current deaf part-timers or deaf friends, that there was our relationship or friendship began quite rocky. So I wasn't quite sure why they didn't want to embrace me fully, why they didn't want to accept me even though I knew their language. And there was this term that I used to use, and it's called hearing impaired. Yeah, so one of my deaf friends came up to me and said, Susanna, do you think of us as less of you? Then I shook my head and I'm like, no. So she said, then why do you call us hearing impaired? So I went home to think about it, and I realized that we are called the hearing and they are called the hearing impaired. So even though that was the proper medical term to call them, I realized that to them this term deaf is identity. So that's when I realized of the importance of having awareness. So as I had more deaf friends and I went out with them more often, I realized that there were many issues that we had to unfold: employment, integration, even entertainment. How do you watch a movie without open captions? What if the captions are in Chinese? How do you understand what's going on in the movie? So as time goes by, they do advocate for all these issues to Singaporeans and us, the hearing world, but no one seems to be hearing them. Yeah, so I was very stressed at that point of time, and I realized that there's no point in being stressed and being stuck there. Yeah, so we went out, so me and my friend Shaz, we went out to meet different people, talk to the deaf community, and try to understand what exactly can we do. So what we realized that it was, even though the deaf are trying to reach out to the hearing, there is this gap, and that is the missing piece of the puzzle between the deaf and the hearing. So that's why we are called puzzles. So that's why we had this cafe where if you use sign language with all the visual aids everywhere, you can have a 10% off. And I would say we were successful in getting famous people like Minister Grace Fu support, Mr. Arthur Chong, PBM. We even got SRU's Mr. Michael Chow. Yeah, and then we had, are you guys rugby? Do you guys have rugby CCA here? Of course I know. Yeah, so all these, the CC, MAEC, CSC people came down. We had deaf speakers to also educate us, the other audience of the community. This is Mr. Matapao. And we also had an interpreter, another learning point I had along the way. Yep, so we also have other workshops for secondary schools, and we don't just teach sign language. We also teach common gestures and how to experience living life in silence. Yeah, so all the instructors, we go out to secondary schools and other organizations. Yeah, so the key takeaway is that our generation is actually, we are very lucky. You and I have the opportunity and accessibility to resources in order to make a difference. But I also realize our generation is one step ahead before others, because we don't usually ask the question of why should I. Our generation, we ask why not. So my question to all of you is, what is your why not? Thank you.